On those local airports, take a look at the flight status page for Austin Straubel International Airport. The rest of the day's arrivals and departures are now canceled.
And on top of that, all of tomorrow's departures have also been called off. Emily Riley joins us now live from Appleton International Airport in Greenville with a look at the challenge there for travelers and airport staff. Emily.
Bill, I just took a glance at the board here a few minutes ago, and there's already several flights that are canceled for tomorrow. And an update from Austin Straubel, all flights are canceled for the rest of today. Jesse Funk, the public information officer at the Appleton International Airport, says several snowplows are clearing the runways as the snow picks up.
We deal with snow all the time, so they're out doing their thing. They started plowing last night. I think the first flake started falling about 8:30 or 9 o'clock last night, and they've been out ever since.
Crews are also de-icing planes with warm water and glycol, so flights can still operate. Staff urging passengers to check regularly for flight updates at the airport and online. One woman dropping off a family member for his flight says it was delayed, causing concern.
He came in from Berlin, so I went and got him, brought him here. So it's always a little anxious because then we'd have to take him back home in this weather.
A handful of flights at the Appleton Airport are being either canceled or delayed. Up in Green Bay, they're dealing with similar problems. Roughly half the flights at Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport were canceled as of Wednesday morning.
We have a lot of cancellations today. Airlines will do that to make sure that their planes are operating safely. And it's not always because of the weather here. It could be at the other airports that these planes are going to or where they're coming from that are impacting the flights.
Airport officials want to remind those attempting to fly to pack their medication, ID, and a change of clothes in a carry-on bag, and to pack your patience as well. Reporting live in Greenville, Emily Riley, Action 2 News.